When a machine fails, a farmer doesn't lose convenience. He loses time, money, and sometimes an entire season. That's why many farmers don't blindly trust the newest technology. Touch screens freeze, sensors fail, software updates arrive at the worst possible moment. But out in the fields, there are machines that never ask for updates, never throw error codes, and never quit when the work gets hard. Built decades ago with steel gears and simple diesel engines, these vintage farm machines have earned something modern technology still struggles to earn: trust. Today we're counting down the 10 vintage farm machines farmers trust more than new technology. The old-school workhorses that proved reliability matters more than innovation. Get ready, because sometimes the future of farming still runs on the past. Number 1. John Deere Fordle 2020. The John Deere 4020 is not just a tractor, it is a benchmark of trust in agriculture. Introduced in the mid-1960s, the 4020 arrived at a time when farms were expanding rapidly. Workloads were increasing, and farmers needed machines that could work long hours without excuses. What made the 4020 special wasn't just its horsepower, it was the way it delivered that power day after day, year after year with almost no drama. At the heart of the 4020 was a naturally aspirated diesel engine designed to run under constant load without stress. Unlike modern engines that squeeze performance through electronics and tight tolerances, the 4020's engine relied on displacement, mechanical fuel delivery, and conservative tuning. This meant it could run on varying fuel quality, tolerate dust, heat, and cold, and keep working even when maintenance wasn't perfect. Farmers trusted it because it didn't demand ideal conditions, it adapted to real ones. The hydraulic system was another reason the 420 earned legendary status. Smooth, powerful, and entirely mechanical, it responded directly to the operator's input. There were no sensors deciding when to lift or lower implements. Farmers could feel the machine working, which built confidence and control, something many modern tractors lack due to computer intervention. Repairability is where the 420 truly separates itself from modern technology. Nearly every component can be accessed, understood, and repaired with basic tools. No dealer software, no locked diagnostic codes. Parts availability remains strong decades later because demand never disappeared. Many farmers still say they trust a 420 more than a brand new tractor because they know exactly what it will do and exactly how to fix it if something goes wrong. That level of certainty is priceless in farming, and it's why the John Deere 4020 remains one of the most trusted machines ever built. Number 2. Massey Ferguson 135. The Massey Ferguson 135 represents everything farmers value in a reliable machine: simplicity, durability, and honesty. Built during an era when tractors were meant to serve farms, not control them, the MF135 earned its reputation by doing exactly what farmers asked of it, without complication. Powered by the legendary Perkins diesel engine in many configurations, the MF135 delivered steady, low-stress power. It wasn't designed to impress on paper, it was designed to survive real farm conditions. The engine could run for thousands of hours with minimal attention, tolerating dirty environments, inconsistent servicing, and long workdays. Farmers trusted it because it didn't punish them for being human. The transmission and hydraulics were equally straightforward. No electronics, no solenoids, no control modules, just gears, shafts, and mechanical linkages. This simplicity meant fewer failure points and faster repairs. If something broke, it was usually visible, understandable, and fixable. Farmers didn't need to call a technician or wait for parts tied to proprietary systems. What truly built trust in the MF135 was consistency. It started reliably, handled daily tasks effortlessly, and rarely surprised its operator. Many farmers still use MF135s for mowing, spraying, hauling, and light tillage, not because they lack newer equipment, but because they trust the 135 more for jobs where failure would be inconvenient or costly. In a world where modern compact tractors rely heavily on electronics that don't age well, the MF135 continues to prove that simplicity isn't outdated, it's dependable. That's why farmers still trust it more than new technology. Number 3. International Harvester 1060. The International Harvester 1086 was born in a time when tractors were expected to earn their keep through raw performance and durability. not comfort features or digital displays. Introduced in the late 1970s, the 1086 quickly became known as a tractor that could handle serious work without complaint. Its large displacement diesel engine was designed for torque, not speed. This allowed the tractor to pull heavy implements at low RPMs, reducing wear and increasing longevity. There was no engine management software adjusting output or limiting performance. What the operator demanded, the engine delivered. Plain and simple. Farmers trusted the 1086 because it was overbuilt. Thick cast iron components, heavy drive trains, and robust axles made it suitable for continuous heavy tillage. It didn't care about soil conditions or long hours. Many farmers still use 1086s for the hardest jobs on the farm, tasks they hesitate to assign to modern tractors filled with sensitive electronics. The cab wasn't luxurious, but it was functional and durable. Controls were mechanical and predictable. When something failed, it failed honestly. No mystery warning lights or shutdowns. Repairs were mechanical, not digital, which meant downtime was shorter and costs were lower. In today's agriculture, where technology often creates distance between the operator and the machine, the 1086 remains trusted because it keeps control in the farmer's hands. It was built to work first, and that philosophy still earns respect. Number 4. Ford 8N. The Ford 8N may be one of the oldest tractors still in regular use, but its trust factor remains remarkably high. Introduced in the 1940s, the 8N transformed farming by making tractors affordable, practical, and easy to maintain. What farmers trust most about the 8N is understanding it's a machine they fully comprehend. Every system on the 8N is mechanical and visible. There are no hidden processes, no computers interpreting sensor data. If the tractor isn't running correctly, the reason is usually obvious. That transparency builds confidence and trust over time. The 8N also introduced the 3-point hitch system, which revolutionized implement use and remains the industry standard today. That single innovation permanently changed farming, and it still works exactly as intended decades later. Many farmers keep 8Ns for utility tasks, mowing, light plowing, or pulling wagons. They trust it because it starts, runs, and stops without hesitation. Compared to modern compact tractors that depend on electronics even for basic functions, the 8N feels almost indestructible. Trust isn't about power or features, it's about knowing what a machine will do. The Ford 8N delivers that certainty, which is why it continues to earn loyalty long after newer machines have come and gone. Number 5. New Holland Hayliner balers. Few machines are tested under more pressure than hay balers, and older New Holland Hayliner balers earned farmers' trust where it mattered most during narrow weather windows. When rain threatens and time is limited, farmers need machines that will run continuously without electronic failures. Vintage Hayliner balers relied on heavy flywheels, mechanical timing systems, and proven knotter designs. There were no sensors misreading bale density, no monitors shutting down operation due to dust or vibration. Everything worked through gears, chains, and cams, systems farmers could hear, feel, and adjust. Farmers trusted these balers because they behaved consistently. Once properly set, they stayed in adjustment for long periods. Knotters tied reliably, bale size remained uniform, and breakdowns were usually gradual rather than sudden. That predictability allowed farmers to push through long days without fear of catastrophic failure. Modern balers may offer automation and data tracking, but they often fail when conditions are harsh, exactly when farmers need them most. Older Hayliners keep running as long as they are greased and maintained, which is why many farmers refuse to replace them. When the weather is closing in and every hour counts, trust matters more than technology. That's why vintage New Holland Hayliner balers remain a farmer favorite. Number 6. Case IH 2290. The Case IH 2290 comes from a time when tractors were built to pull, not to impress. Introduced during the late 1970s and early 1980s horsepower wars, the 2290 was designed around one core principle: deliver massive torque reliably, without relying on electronics or complex systems. And that principle is exactly why farmers still trust it today. At the heart of the 2290 is a large displacement diesel engine that produces power the old-fashioned way, through cubic inches, not computer control. The engine doesn't rely on sensors to decide how much power to deliver. If the operator demands more, the engine responds instantly. That direct connection between throttle and performance builds confidence, especially during heavy tillage, where hesitation can cost time, fuel, and soil quality. The tractor's weight and frame design were intentional. Case engineers understood that traction is just as important as horsepower. The 2290 puts its power into the ground efficiently, allowing it to pull large implements without constant wheel slip or electronic traction control intervention. Farmers trust this mechanical balance because it behaves predictably in all soil conditions. Maintenance is another key reason for trust. The 2290 doesn't require proprietary software or dealer-only diagnostics. Most issues are mechanical and visible. Farmers can listen to the engine, feel the drivetrain, and understand what's happening. Repairs are straightforward, parts are robust, and many components were designed to be rebuilt rather than replaced. Modern tractors may advertise higher horsepower numbers, but farmers often say the 2290 feels stronger in real-world conditions. That's because usable torque, durability, and simplicity matter more than peak output. When a farmer hooks up a heavy plow and heads into tough ground, the Case IH 2290 delivers without hesitation. Number 7. Vintage grain augers. Grain augers may not be glamorous, but they are absolutely critical during harvest. And that's exactly why farmers place so much trust in older, mechanically simple designs. Vintage grain augers were built with one goal: move grain reliably, every single time. Older augers used thick steel tubing, heavy-duty bearings, and simple drive systems powered by PTOs or basic electric motors. There were no electronic safety interlocks, no sensors shutting down the system, and no lightweight materials designed to save manufacturing costs. If the auger turned, grain flowed. Farmers trust these older machines because they are predictable. They don't stop working because of dust, moisture, vibration, or electrical glitches, conditions that are unavoidable during harvest. When something does wear out, it usually does so slowly, giving the operator time to react instead of causing sudden failure. Modern augers often include electronic controls, safety systems, and lightweight construction that can fail under heavy use. While these features may improve safety or efficiency on paper, they introduce failure points that older machines simply don't have. Farmers understand this difference, which is why many refuse to upgrade. Another key factor is repair speed. During harvest, downtime is unacceptable. Vintage augers can be repaired on the spot with basic tools. Bearings, belts, and shafts are standard parts, not proprietary components requiring dealer intervention. In farming, trust isn't built on innovation alone. It's built on reliability under pressure. Vintage grain augers have proven, year after year, that they will work when farmers need them most, and that's why they remain trusted. Number 8. Older plows and tillage implements. Vintage plows, discs, and cultivators come from an era when steel was cheap and durability was non-negotiable. These implements were massively overbuilt by today's standards, and that over-engineering is exactly why farmers still trust them. Older tillage tools used thick steel frames, solid welds, and replaceable wear parts designed to last decades. They weren't optimized for transport speed or fuel efficiency. They were built to survive rocks, roots, and hard ground without bending or breaking. Farmers trust these implements because they behave consistently. Once adjusted, they stay adjusted. There are no electronic depth controls drifting out of calibration, no hydraulic sensors misreading ground conditions. The implement does exactly what the operator sets it to do. Modern tillage equipment often uses lighter materials to reduce weight and cost, but this can lead to flexing, cracking, and premature wear. Many farmers have learned, sometimes the hard way, that lighter doesn't always mean better. Vintage implements may require more horsepower, but they deliver durability modern tools struggle to match. Another reason for trust is repairability. Bent steel can be straightened. Worn parts can be replaced individually. Farmers don't need specialized tools or software, just experience and basic equipment. In a world where many new implements are designed for short lifespans, old tillage tools stand as proof that durability never goes out of style. Farmers trust them because they've already proven themselves under decades of real work. Number 9. Mechanical seed drills. Before GPS guidance and variable rate technology, farmers relied on mechanical seed drills, and many still do. These vintage machines earned trust through consistency, simplicity, and reliability that modern electronic systems sometimes struggle to match. Mechanical seed drills used gears, chains, and metering wheels to control seeding rates. Once calibrated, they delivered uniform seed placement across entire fields without relying on sensors or software. Farmers trusted them because the system was visible and understandable. When something went wrong, the problem was usually mechanical and easy to diagnose. There were no error codes or software conflicts, just physical components doing physical work. Farmers could adjust settings in the field and immediately see the results. Modern seeders offer advanced features, but they also introduce risk. When electronics fail, planting stops entirely. Vintage drills may lack data logging, but they rarely shut down unexpectedly. That reliability is critical during planting windows where timing determines yield. Many farmers still use mechanical drills for small grains, cover crops, and specialty planting because they trust them to perform without complication. In agriculture, consistency often beats precision, and mechanical drills deliver exactly that. Number 10. Gravity wagons. If there is one machine that perfectly represents why farmers trust vintage equipment, it's the gravity wagon. These simple machines rely on one force, gravity, and that simplicity makes them nearly impossible to fail. Older gravity wagons were built with heavy frames, thick steel hoppers, and robust running gear. There are no hydraulics to leak, no electronics to malfunction, and no complex systems to maintain. Grain goes in, gravity pulls it out. That's it. Farmers trust gravity wagons because they always work. They don't care about weather, dust, or time. They don't require calibration or diagnostics. As long as the gate opens, the job gets done. Modern alternatives may offer automation or faster unloading, but they also introduce failure points that gravity wagons simply don't have. Many farmers keep older wagons even after upgrading other equipment because they know these machines will never let them down. In farming, trust is built on reliability, not innovation. Gravity wagons embody that philosophy perfectly, and that's why farmers continue to rely on them, generation after generation. Those machines weren't just tools, they were partners. While modern technology promises efficiency, these vintage machines delivered certainty. They started every morning, worked all day, and asked for nothing more than fuel and basic care. And that's why, even today, farmers still trust them more than the latest high-tech equipment. Which vintage machine do you trust the most? Tell me in the comments. I want to hear real stories. If you respect old-school farming, proven engineering, and machines that earn their place, hit like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who believes reliability beats technology. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep the iron strong and the legends alive.